All right, how we doing today? So it's good to be back on the channel here. I've been making a lot of tourist videos here on my Street Rat 702 channel. All right, all in one combined word. You can check that channel out if you want. You'll see I'll have like about 250 videos on there. I was hoping one day I could get a journalist job during like attractions here in Las Vegas and all that for people that like to come here and stuff like that. So now I'm back to this channel here. So I want to talk about Tariq Quadir. But before I do so, on the note of tourism, a lot of people are starting to get out now, move around a little bit, going on cruises and maybe going to like places like Mexico and the Bahamas, or maybe overseas and stuff like that, if they're allowed to, as places are opening up. But you got to be careful, okay? When you go on these, especially like Americans, when you go to these places, or even if you're somewhere else and you're a guest going to another country or whatever, okay? Or places abroad, because you are a guest. Remember that. Now I know that from being overseas. But I want to talk about this young man from Baltimore. Again, his name is Tariq Quadir. On that subject here, because these brothers were from Baltimore. It was 4 of them. Went to Puerto Rico. I guess on the surface they were supposed to be on vacation, but they went to a unidentified spot in Puerto Rico and bought some drugs. And those guys ended up meeting a very bad fate. Okay? So, according to reports I saw on the Google News, and then from this guy, Tariq Quadir. Shout out to that brother, okay, on his channel. They bought drugs, and after they bought the drugs, they were instructed not to take pictures at the site where they took the drugs, okay, or bought the drugs, wherever the transaction occurred. And after they was already told they went to take pictures anyway, and those guys, from what I understand, this Tariq and another young man, those guys were like beaten with heavy objects, weights. It was supposed to be like frying pans and stuff like that. And they were burned, okay? Burned alive. Now, two other guys, they had ran away, they escaped or whatever, were treated at a hospital. But unfortunately, Mr. Quadir and there was another gentleman, they met a very bad fate. Now, I like to say this, okay, like messing around at those countries or whatever like that, or like you in one of those third world countries, let's say Panama, or let's just say when they're in heavy drug activity. Those places are no joke, okay? Yes, they will eliminate you, all right? So they just don't care. Places like I'm trying to think, like Colombia, Ecuador. Trying to think some other places over there. I can't think of the other place right. El Salvador. Great, very exotic places to visit, but it's very, very dangerous there. Okay, and although some places they like America and they're friendly, but there's a lot of places that don't like Americans. It used to be, maybe up until a few years ago, okay, where Americans used to get the red carpet treatment, and they still do, but it's not like it used to be. And I hate to have to say this, okay, I'm not trying to make this into a political thing, but I think since the Trump administration around 2016, and with this extraditing of let's just say illegal aliens, the people that were trying to get their citizenship in America, I think that it made rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, because you have people from various parts of the country, Europe, from various parts of the world. I'm sorry, Europe, South America, even China. These places are being people are being extradited back, and that might have been their connection to get to America in the first place to go see. So, just depending on who you're dealing with, wherever you go, that some people have bad vibes about America, because it does say in the Bible that in the Revelations or whatever that there was going to be a land of many rivers and places, rivers and ports, and there were going to be pride and arrogant people. The whore of Babylon. They weren't talking about England, okay? So they had to be talking about the Americas. Yeah, that's America. All right, and they've had several incidents like this. Like, I can name a few right off the bat. I believe it was Waka Flocka, the rapper that got in trouble out there, I think in France or England or whatever, and Donald Trump had to help get him extradited. Also, I believe it was Lonzo Ball's brother, okay? Let's see here. The middle child, okay? Got caught stealing sunglasses out there in a mall in China. In China, they don't play around though. Okay, you get caught stealing out there, you're gonna do some major time. Stealing a pair of glasses or whatever, they will execute you out there. Okay, that's just how serious they take crime out there. All right, and just so you know, if you get tried out there, you end up on death row in China, they won't tell you how long you're going to be in death row. When they're ready to execute you, they're going to just pull you out of death row. And they got this, I guess, this device where they lay you down flat. Like your head is clamped on to one part of it, and your body's clamped on to the other part. And the body part, and this is the head part, this is the body part. It just drops or whatever, okay? So you're just like this, with your neck broke, okay? But a lot of those places like Middle East, they don't be playing around, okay? With people stealing, or you kill somebody over there, in the Middle East, you get beheaded. Point blank. They got this, what they call, I've learned in the military, called the SOFA agreement. So basically, if you get in trouble and you have to go to court, that's basically, even if you end up being sent back to the United States, then you're pretty much the jurisdiction or whatever, like as far as the courts and all that, you have to go back over there to be tried. Okay, so you're pretty much in the hands of the fate of those people in other countries and all that. Okay, they had this other incident where they had another young man, okay, that went to Korea. I think it was North Korea, playing around with some paraphernalia or whatever, tried to sneak some out or whatever, and I believe that he was drugged. By the time he came back to America, all right, he ended up dying of some type of brain condition. Okay, I'm trying to think of some other incidents. There's another guy in Greece, a black guy. Okay, and I tell you though, some of those other countries in Europe that they do like American men, particularly black men, Germany, Greece, France, okay, then the best thing to do is, if you end up probably like in a social event or whatever, then just entertain that lady or whatever, and, but I think it's recommended that those places, those resorts you go to, not to leave those resorts. And if you do know somebody out there, like in those islands or those other countries, it would be best for you to venture those towns with somebody that knows the area that you're good friends with or whatever, that you trust. I know that's how it was when I used to go up to Philadelphia as a kid, where I had my cousin that pretty much would take me around, okay, wherever we went and stuff like that, until I got big enough and I got old enough to be on my own, so I could do stuff without it. So when I go to places like Philly and go back out east, I'm just gonna go and do what I have to do, go direct to that place, keep my mouth shut, do what I have to do, and come on back here. I mean, so you can get in trouble anywhere if you're not being too careful. But yeah, old boy shouldn't have never been supposed to been buying those drugs anyway, and for him taking those pictures anyway, then I guess there's really nothing that America really, the government really can do. Because again, he wasn't supposed to be buying drugs in the first place on top of that. And I do know that a lot of people, they go abroad to do those type of deals. There was an incident where I think a young lady went out to like Vietnam or Thailand to go buy drugs and tried to sneak it out, and something like she ended up pregnant, but they wanted to execute her by fire squad. I believe it was a young black lady and so forth. So just be careful when you go to these other countries or whatever. I just say go, enjoy yourself. Hopefully, I'm not going to sit there and tell you right from wrong, but if you do maybe link up with somebody or whatever, be very, very careful. I mean, I'm not, maybe gentlemen, especially you gentlemen, maybe take her to your resort. Not to get yourself into situations where you're going to get apprehended, okay, because you don't want that. You do not want that. Very, very, very careful if you leave these resort areas. You want to venture out in the city. I do recommend, and they'll provide one for you, somebody that you can break them off with a little bit of money, and they can show you around, and you'll be just fine. That's just my suggestion, as they're opening up these borders and places like that. All right, I don't want to hold up enough of your time. That's enough for now. Feel free to subscribe, like, leave your comments, tell me what you think, and check out some other videos. And stay tuned for the next video.